So this is a short video about Eishet Genuine requested by patron. It will be not more than 5 minutes long because it requires kind of basic information about Eishet and basic instruction regarding her. Now, it's really interesting to point out how different Eishet and Lilith are as spirits, despite the fact that they are associated. Eishet is, in my experience, much more fiery and intense than Lilith. She is much more connected to Black Sun than Black Moon. So, in my personal experience, to call Eishet you need to do basic raising of the sacred space with the Black Sun. I explained it many times. You draw the circle around yourself on black cloth, then you sit cross-legged in a circle, then you imagine black sun radiating above your crown chakra, then you push the rays into the edges of the circle, and then when you feel the rays radiating from the edges of the circle, then the sacred space is raised. Space need to be well raised, the feeling need to be really strong in order to guarantee the success of the raising. Now, what I also suggest is this. Eishet Genuine also, like many genic spirits, because I consider Eishet Genuine partially genic in nature. When I say the word genic, I mean that she has the similar essence to spirits like Paimon or King Maimon, and she is really burning and fiery. So she likes red candles and sandalwood incense. Those are sufficient. You should, while calling her for the first time in the sacred space, turn on red candle or sandalwood incense or both. The chant for calling Eishet is Ha Eishet Genuine Ha Shedim. It will be on the screen. So technically, you should, recite the chant Ha Eishet Genuine Ha Shedim in the sacred space. Her presence will be strong, it will be felt. And my advice is for people to be really careful with Eishet. Eishet is not for the faint of heart. This video is recommended by the Patreon supporter Melissa, so thank you Melissa for supporting the channel. And now I want to address, after I addressed Melissa's request, now I want to address something else. Well, a lot of people in the comment section thought that I somehow called out them when I filmed my short about scammers. Here is the thing. I never call out people specifically. I call out the phenomena. I don't call out people by name. And anyone who thinks I call them by name is wrong, because I don't call out people by name in my videos. I consider it to be gossip. But there is another thing which I want to talk about, really important. So a lot of people claim that spirits are angry at me because I am misinforming the audiences. And the main argument for me misinforming the audiences, is me claiming that the darker spirits are dangerous. And this is not a misinformation. I am claiming that the dark spirits are dangerous and you guys need to be careful, because there is a lot of people going insane and schizophrenic in this community. Okay? people who are functional adults before they start practicing magic, and then in a few years or a few months, they become completely mentally insane. So in order for you guys to avoid that situation, I am giving you warnings. I am teaching you how to raise the sacred space. I am telling you how to avoid being drained by spirits. I am telling you how to essentially treat spirits respectfully. I am telling you how to make a pact, and so on and so forth. I am telling you about pros and cons of making a pact, of making such a deal. And I need to explain my philosophy in greater detail because people don't understand. So there are many warnings I give to people, and in this video I will kinda explain every single of those warnings because I consider it important. One of the first warnings I give is to raise a sacred space. I am like a parrot, constantly parroting the fact that you have to raise the sacred space. And I always teach people that. Now, why do I do so? You see, when you are a beginner, in the beginning of your personal practice, there is extreme chance that you will become attacked or attached by parasitic entities. And that is more important to avoid than anything else. It's literally more important to protect from parasites than to call spirit you wanna call successfully. And this is why I am constantly parroting a raising of the sacred space. Another thing I am constantly parroting is that dark spirits are destructive. Now, when I say destructive people, I don't mean evil. That's what majority of my critics don't understand. Okay, if I say that Lilith is Succubus and destructive spirit of the storm and tempest, responsible for illnesses and plagues, that is historical fact, which is pretty much confirmed in historical records since Akkadian and Assyrian empires onwards. Lilith specifically is a spirit from Proto-Semitic culture, from Akkadian culture. Akkadians are the oldest Semitic culture we know, and it is a culture which in many regards predates Judaism, okay? And in that culture, Lilith was terrifying, dark spirit of storms, and succubus, and responsible for miscarriages. And it is a historical fact. It is not something I can agree or disagree. It is simply a fact. And it is also simply a fact that Lilith is extremely good in baneful magic. But many of my critics who call me out because of this, okay, forgot that I praised Lilith in many instances. I presented Lilith as the source of wisdom and protection in many instances. And it is also a historical fact that Lilith is, in many rabbinical writings, depicted as the mother of dark wisdom. It is her primary role as the female dark counterpart of God's wisdom. And I called, essentially, Lilith in a positive manner in many ways. I acknowledge that those spirits have positive sides, but about more dangerous sides of those spirits, I think audiences should be warned too. And it's a job of an educator to educate even on the things people don't like. Because if you educate and say only the things people like, you are not an educator, you are an entertainer. And so it is my job to educate and talk to those spirits and about those spirits, even in the manner people don't like, if it is necessary for education of the audience I am educating. Another criticism of mine is, people criticize me, some of the people, because I, do this to make money. Let me tell you something. Being a magician for hire is not something you do for money, because it is a really unprofitable job compared to the amount of hours and the ridiculous risks you invest. Okay, every time you call the spirit, if something goes right, your client is satisfied. If something goes wrong, you are dead. That's the risk. If something goes right, your client is satisfied. If something goes wrong, you have possibly, long-term alignment illness. It's a really risky job, and nobody talks about it. And it's extremely underpaid job. Majority of people who ask for services either cannot pay all at once, even when the price is reasonable, or want to bring the price down as much as possible. Also, the good proportion of people who are paying for services or wanting advice simply don't want to listen to what is said, and they have their own ideas, which are usually wrong ideas. And when you tell them that they are wrong, they call you out as a scam or call you out as unempathetic or something, despite the fact that what they said was simply absurd. If somebody tells you they are, incarnation of the transdimensional priesthood of Atlantis and the only wife of Lucifer, they are mostly wrong, because it's simply not the case. Spirits in those hierarchies and higher realms don't understand nor know the concept of monogamy, especially infernal spirits. And therefore, claiming to be the only wife of the spirit who doesn't even acknowledge monogamy is absurd. It is a reflection of the fragile ego, and it is not a reflection of any form of spiritual attainment. The third type of my critics claim that I don't create anything new, that everything I created is influenced by others or copied by others, or is a simply copy of what others do. And to that I will reply in a following manner. Everybody is influenced by somebody. There are significant influences in my practice from certain practitioners, and I will list them here. V.K. Jehanam, one of them. J.D. Temple, another. Partially Orly Stewart, another. But there are also influences to my work which are not present in the rest of occult creationists, of occult creators. I'm heavily influenced by Slavic mythology. I'm heavily influenced by traditional rabbinical writings. I am heavily influenced by traditional Bosnian lore and legend. I am heavily influenced by Arabic understanding and practice of the divine god names. I am heavily influenced by the thought of Shabbatai Zvi in my practice. I am also heavily influenced by Hebrew literature and the god names. And I am also the first one who introduced in this occult community Ionist, Alevian Path Tantric practices, and also the first one who spoke about a left-hand path as the path to merge with the source, to merge with the all. And that is something which majority of the occult educators don't claim nor endorse. To them, left-hand path is the way of separating from the all. I beg to differ, and I in many instances showed you how you can merge with the all through the left-hand path. Lilith can help you to merge with the all through the left-hand path. All created, divine source created, angels and demons, positive and negative, they are all part of the same circuit. By telling that they are all part of the same circuit, and by telling that you can merge with the all through dark entities, I am not a Christian. I am not endorsing Christian theology, I am simply stating what is my experience. If certain people criticize me that I sometimes endorse Christianity too much, it's their problem. I have no thing against endorsing something from Christianity if I deem it true, okay? If I deem something to be true, I don't care from where it is coming from. To me personally, I wanted to address those three criticisms. One criticism that I am unoriginal, I debunked it. I am influenced by some people, but many things which I claim and practice, such as the left side of God and merging with the all through the left-hand path, are my concepts and rituals, which are not found in other educators. People accuse me of copying. Regarding, other criticisms that I am misinforming because I talk about negative aspects of those spirits, that's not true, because those spirits have negative and destructive aspects, which are really profound, and people should know about them for the sake of their own safety and security. And the last criticism that I somehow am Christian or endorse Christianity, I also don't mind that criticism, because if I consider certain aspects of Christian theology to be true, then I will endorse it. If I don't consider it to be true, I will not endorse it. Some things which I consider to be true are found in Christianity, and I don't give a fuck that certain people don't like it. In general, this is my response to the criticisms. And now, there is the one last warning for you guys. The reason why I constantly talk about spirits, especially darker spirits, demanding life force for the work they do, is because they demand life force. Okay? All of the pagan religions which venerated the darker spirits, especially the underworld gods, gave them the blood sacrifice. Ask yourself why. Why do they all give them sacrifice if those spirits don't demand sacrifices, aka life force? This is my most profound evidence, which I gave in a single sentence, that those darker spirits indeed ask for life force. And if you want your request done extremely quickly, you need to offer them life force. It could be your life force, it could be your enemy's life force, it could be animal life force, it could be large amounts of food or drink, doesn't matter. Okay, I need to give a disclaimer here, because people are not really careful when they are listening to this kind of advice. Some people can have a dangerous stream of thought. So I need to give a disclaimer. Please, for God's sake, don't kill anyone or do anything illegal to provide offerings for the spirits. And the next video of mine will be how to give offerings. And that will be filmed, that next video. And then I will, how can I say, talk about set, to finish my set video series. I told you guys I will. So yeah, so I wanna add for the end of this video that money is not important for me in this work. I charge money because I need to, pay for my expenses, but in general I will keep doing this because this is for me a passion. This is something I enjoy. And you can still support me in the Patreon if you wish. The link is in the description, but I will keep doing this not for the money but for what it represents. It's honor for me to educate people on this matter, and I will keep doing this probably until the coffin is closed. So yeah.